Hello, Real Housewives of Melbourne fans! Today's episode is all about the Lydia and Gamble versus Pettifleur and the girls, so you don't want to miss the official after show!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
La la, la 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 la. Come on, Angela, you've got a good voice.
Get you out of my head. Boy, your love is all I think about.
Well, hello, Real Housewives of Melbourne fans. We're here for AFTERBUZZ TV's official after show of the Real Housewives of Melbourne. So I am your host, Dan Babic, and you can find me on the Instagram at Dan Babic and find me on the Twitter at DANBABIC with an underscore. And today we finally have Angela in studio with us.
Hey.
Give us a round of applause for Angela.
Thank you, guys. Hey, what's up? I'm Angela Struck. You can find me on Twitter at @TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram and Snapchat at Angela Struck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Madison Conklin. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie Says This, and then on Instagram at Conklin, CONKLYNN. Still working on fixing that. So, yes, find me there for now.
Awesome. Well,
spell it
before
out.
we fully get into the episode, ladies, what do we think?
I thought this was actually pretty heavy. There was some dramatic stuff with the baby, Jackie and the baby stuff, and then it seemed like a heavy kind of, and Pettifleur with her son.
Yeah.
It was just kind of heavy and serious at times, but it was great.
It was definitely not like dramatic like the first, like, oh my god, this happened and they fought and everything. It was more so like, all right, so these like individuals are having conversations and they're like figuring out their shiznit, you know? So.
Brian and Janet, there were some like serious conversations and things going on.
There was. I actually personally really liked it because I'm like so ADD, so I like things to move fast. It was like this conversation, this conversation, this conversation.
Yeah.
And it kind of started with...
You don't say you're ADD, huh?
No, don't say it. That's
Wait,
why...
what?
No. But it started off with, Lana,
Yeah.
Jackie's mum, coming to Melbourne from Newcastle. Yes, I am good with my Australian geography because I'm Australian.
From Australia.
Yeah, and she wants a baby for Ben and Jackie. So what did you think about that?
I don't know. It's so hard. I thought what she was saying, Jackie, was very true, that there is such pressure put on women, that you have to have a baby or else you're just going to miss out. But, maybe that's their lifestyle. They're a very in love couple.
Yes.
I almost feel like they are a couple that would do well without having a child and could just be happy with one another forever. But I also feel bad for her mother.
Right,
I mean, they want grandkids.
I got a little misty-eyed because personally, like, my stepmom just became a grandma and she's like so in love with Colton and whatever. But at the same time, again, I agree, like, they are literally perfect with each other and, they're just very happy with each other, which is so important because you hear all these things about like, oh, we lost our love after we had kids. It's like, how, and I don't know. I think they would be great with or without child or children.
Yeah, totally. I think it's totally up to them, and it's always hard for the grandmother.
Of course.
Because she feels that void, and we saw that later with, Pettifleur in the episode.
But she has sons that have grandkids.
Yeah,
so
they were
it's
saying
like,
that she had a nephew. Jackie has a nephew, so I was kind of like, well, they already have grandkids. But I think it more so is a mother looking at her daughter saying, I know you'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
And I want this for you. I thought she did a nice job of kind of saying, like, I think this would be great for you, but, also kind of like respecting them and their choices.
Yeah.
She didn't kind of push it too hard.
Well, her husband kind of
on the
seems
verge.
like a little bit of a rocker, like, I don't need like something
He's
to
Johnny
tie me
Depp.
down.
He's the
he's
Australian Johnny Depp.
Australia,
Yeah.
like he doesn't need something tying him down besides his wife. But Jackie's already really cool, so it's like, you don't really need like a permanent tie to wherever
Totally.
they are.
And it's also a culture thing because Jackie is half Croatian.
Right.
And I'm half Croatian as well. So Lana is from Croatia, which is a very small Eastern European country, and it's very big on family. And it is a little bit backward as far as women are concerned. And feminists, it's all about having babies and building a family. So I think that also comes in with it. The generation above our generation, it was all about, the stay-at-home mum, and a woman's role is to have the kids, whereas times they are a-changing.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think you just like hit the nail on the head. Like, she's from a country where it's very much not progressive, where it's like, okay, this is what I do. I have a kid, the blah, blah, blah. I teach my kids to have kids, like, whatever. And Jackie's, you know, in Melbourne, just like, oh, I'm married, like, I'm having the time of my life.
Rockstar.
Yeah,
Exactly.
rock star.
Exactly.
You did that perfectly. And then we moved on to our least favourite character. We love to hate Lydia.
Oh, you guys, I'm not with you on that.
Oh, really?
I love every single cast member because
Okay.
they're all just like crazy. But I love
That's how
Lydia
you
with
started
her
with the other show.
and her like sexy kinkiness. I think she is so funny.
She is a whore.
And I love
She is
Figaro.
definitely cheating on her husband.
I love Fig.
Okay, Fig is cute, but
I'm
he's
a
not a
dog person,
character.
so-
He's literally just a
Oh,
dog.
he's the character. He was wearing pants, like
He was
tailored
wearing a whole
fitted
get-up.
pants.
No,
This
Yeah.
episode.
Lydia is a little skanky doodle dandy, in my opinion.
But, you know, her husband's buying her a Porsche because she likes, you know, she keeps him busy.
Andrew.
Right, she keeps him very
busy.
And
Yes.
of course, you know, Johanna like can't drive her anywhere because she has to be like, oh, turn left.
Right,
you know what left
right,
is?
left,
Do you know
left.
you
It's
left
like-
from your right? You want to talk about sponges?
How I did not like that though. I mean, listen, she annoys me, but I also still like love to watch her.
Yeah, yeah.
But like when she was in the car telling her like left and right, it's kind of like, come on, give the woman
the
a little bit of
first- the
respect.
first
Like it's so
episode.
condescending.
Yeah, it is.
You know.
Well, I think I do think she's not the most beautiful human being on the
Right,
inside.
no,
but I
yeah.
think she'll also play, she's the bad character.
She's entertaining.
Yes, I think she's putting it on a little bit and
Yeah.
she's trying to be the villain. But then she was flirting with the guy that was, what was his name? I think I wrote it
Michael,
down.
I think, wasn't it?
Michael.
The car guy?
The car guy,
I think it was
yeah.
Michael.
He was hot. We were like, whoa.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
had to go hard and fast. Like,
Oh, she's definitely
girl.
a little slut, but I love it.
I love it. She
She's
does own it. Yeah.
a secret slut, which is not so secret because she's doing it on national television.
But you know, I
International.
think Andrew loves it.
International,
Like
yes.
he seems like he just like gets
Andrew's
her
just
way
like, you
and
know
like
what? Throw money down as long
Yeah,
as
he's
she's
just
happy.
like-
She'll keep having sex with me and I'm
Yeah.
happy. It's like, ugh.
I think she just has fun with it.
Same. I think it's part of the relationship. I think it almost kind of spices up the relationship because she's like, I flirt with anyone.
Exactly.
You've got to work for me because look, I'm a flirt.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah. One thing that isn't so fresh is Petit Fleur's relationship at the start of the episode with all the girls.
Yeah.
So Gina comes down really hard on it, that's which I like as a good friend, and kind of says, look, you do come across like you've got a chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
And you do come across quite aggressive.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the best scene I've ever seen Gina in. I
we
felt
have-
like she was
we did not
such
see
a
Gina
honest,
a lot.
good friend.
Yeah.
She gave her real advice, and it was advice that Petit Fleur really needed to hear.
Yeah.
Like to say that Petit Fleur is never vulnerable around anybody, and vulnerability is endearing and it makes people love you and like it's a nice side. You know, she's always like, as Gina said, like, I don't care, and then just comes back with a mean comment, and it's like,
You do
well, that's
care.
not a real person, you know? Like everybody has feelings, yeah, like be honest, you know? And so I thought that was like really great. And
Yeah.
I hope Petit Fleur like takes it and, you know, to heart and learns from it, because that was like a true friend, I thought.
Yeah. And we really didn't see a lot of Gina this episode. That was like really the only scene she was in.
Man, but you can't miss her in her monochromatic red.
There we go. And that red,
Outfit.
like, leather little
Yeah.
Cruella de
Why does she
Vil-ish.
always wear the same color from head to toe?
Because she's Gina and she's just
Gina,
like,
yeah, she's
slay.
the ultimate drag queen. What I love
is.
we had a bit of an Oprah moment because we loved. I remember me and Maddie were spinning out over a quote when Gina said, "Raise your argument, not your voice."
Yes!
We're like, we love her. That's a tweet.
That
Yes,
was
yes,
really
yes.
good. That was very good. Well, I mean, she's a barrister, a lawyer,
Yeah.
so I think that she's probably used that one a lot.
Yeah, and she said, talk about the girls with the girls. Don't do it
Yeah.
behind each other's back. Talk about it with the girls.
Yeah, nice
Exactly.
try.
So
They
it's-
all talk behind everybody's
Yeah,
back.
which
We
is
do.
so, I mean, you know, obviously it's reality television, so, but she probably just said it to say it, but she's talking about Petit Fleur, talking about the other girls behind their back, you know? So it was just a little...
But she wasn't really gossiping about
She wasn't
anybody in that
gossiping
scene.
by any
She was
means.
just
She was
kind of
just
being
like,
honest to
yeah.
Petit Fleur that, like, this is how people perceive you, and, like, you know,
You need
work
to tone
on it.
down, yeah.
Yeah, well, I've even noticed like a few times in my life, like I'm a straight shooter. I say what I say behind your
Yeah.
back, I say your face.
Right.
But I've even noticed a few times because I am such a reality TV junkie.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god, if I was on a reality show, I'd be fucked right now.
Right.
Because I'm totally just like stab that person, but then you can get away with it because you're not on a reality show.
Right.
And I'm like, oh naughty, I've told them something I shouldn't.
Right.
We've all done it, and
Yeah.
I always think, oh. I'm so glad I'm not on a reality TV show right now because I would be busted.
But don't you think they do it intentionally? Because I mean, that stirs up the drama. I mean, that's the show. Like, if she doesn't go tell the drama to Gamble, then like there's no confrontation and there's no bum bum bum. So.
There's
You
no
kind of
Gamble.
need that. Yeah.
Because as much as we like Chyka, she's a bit of a Switzerland, and she has admitted that. She doesn't you know.
Chyka.
Chyka, yeah.
Chyka, I love her. She's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
I
Her
can't
and
get
her
over her.
husband are so cute. Oh my
He
god.
actually, her husband actually had a lot of gay rumors in Australia.
I could see that.
I'm not sure if you guys can see that because American men actually tend to be a bit more masculine than Australian men tend to be a bit more masculine than American
But they
men.
wear a lot shorter shorts and swimsuits than American
They
men.
do, but so I wasn't sure if you guys
Which is
noticed.
totally
I've
fine.
always sensed that.
Yeah.
I've always sensed that.
That
They seem to
Chyka's
me
husband?
like best friends, which
Yeah.
is fine. Listen, it works for them. Like, whatever. I'm not going to judge people's relationships, but like, I definitely think he's gay.
You
Yeah.
do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of it yet. So I have the worst radar ever. So
Well, when you think, you don't want to be stereotypical, but it is event planning,
Yeah.
so it is particular more feminine job, and
Yeah.
a lot of gay guys work in that industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
no,
They just seem
Chyka.
also like they don't have like a sexual chemistry.
No,
they
but
don't have
they're
a
best
spice
friends.
there.
They're best
I know, but that's what I'm
friends.
saying. But then that's what
You
I'm
can
saying.
still
They're
have
best
sex with
friends.
Your best
like
friend. It's just awkward.
Yeah, I think
I
they've got a
don't
bit of an
know.
agreement on the side where he just kind of goes off and does his little thing.
Yeah.
A little bit of. I think he loves
Little
her.
oh
thing.
yes, oh
but,
yes.
Yeah, but sometimes he's a bit of, a bit
I
of.
just don't see them,
Well, they
Yeah.
did
Getting
have a
freaky.
daughter,
I just feel like
and
they
that's
seem
probably
like
the
they,
last
like-
time they did anything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I'm with you on that. But then we obviously, Gina kind of said, you need to show your emotions, be more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then ask and you shall receive, because we see Petty Fleur and her son have their moment.
Yeah.
Yes. But I loved how he was so very defiant. Just you wanted us out, and we realized that.
Definitive. Yeah, like about
Yeah,
how he.
and this
yeah.
is what we're doing. And she was like, I want you to come back home. He was like, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Because,
They just fight when they're together, yeah.
exactly. And then he's not going to learn how to clean up after himself if he's at home and
yeah.
mom and the maids are doing it.
I don't really get. I mean, they always say like mothers and their sons. Like I think they just like, let the guy grow up. He's got a woman. He's definitely full grown. Like he should be. I don't know. Maybe that's more America though, because I do feel like Australia, it's more typical that people like live at home longer.
Oh, much longer. Yeah.
But
'Cause
in America, like a guy his age should be
Out the door.
doing, kind of fending for himself, and it's a little weird if he's not. Like,
Yeah.
so I thought it was good that he was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not coming back. I love you. We can work on our relationship and be close, but like I'm not moving back in with mommy.
in
Yeah.
Australia, it's normal to stay with your family until you're about 26.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I think the way that the Australian mentality is, the Australian dream is to own your own house.
Yeah.
Whereas, just to be honest, with our minimum wage is a lot higher.
Yeah.
So it's possible for people to own their own house. Whereas the
Yeah.
minimum wage in America, it's actually not really a realistic thing for people to own their own houses as much.
Yeah.
So
Right.
people say, instead of paying off someone else's mortgage, pay off your own mortgage. So
Yeah.
get your degree, get your the average wage after college is like 50,000, where it's like
Yeah.
30,000 in the US.
Right.
20 grand more. So say stay home after college, work 2 years, then you've got your deposit for a house.
Yeah.
And that's what people do.
yeah.
Because pay off someone.
Which
pay
is
off- yeah.
actually very smart. I mean, if you can like stay at, I think too in America though, people, because it's so vast, like people are like so spread out,
Right, yeah.
a lot of people go to college, so they're not in the same town working, as it was where their parents are
Totally,
living.
yeah.
So I think that's also part of it, whereas I think in Australia, just my understanding that most people kind of stay in one area. So it makes
Totally.
sense then, okay, well, I'll just crash with mom and dad until I save up enough money to buy a place or whatever.
Yeah, and our college is not the same as your college.
Yeah.
Like you go to college and then you leave. Like you just
Right.
you go there for class and then you leave. Like I only had 6 hours of contact times when I went
Right.
to college in
Right.
Australia.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not, we don't have sororities, we don't
Right.
I didn't even know anyone in my classes. Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes me so giddy. It just brings me back to the old days.
Yes.
But
Brings you
let's
back
not
to the
get
good old
back into
days. But yeah, I really did. That's a lot of thing that mothers struggle with. Even though my mum's struggling with it right now, is when everyone leaves the nest, you're like,
Yeah.
who am I? What am I meant to do? Because you're identified with being a mother for so long.
Yeah.
Can we go speaking out of the nest is Janet and her ex.
Yeah.
She kind of flew the coop because her ex was cheating on her openly.
Yeah.
And then she has dinner with him. They catch up and he's very just like, you're not going to like what I have to tell you. And then, whatever. Was that so weird? Or, I mean, my parents are divorced and they would never have dinner one-on-one together.
Hey, but this is why, guys. She's on an international television show saying that he is cheating on her. And he's trying to meet women probably now, and they're probably like, you're a cheater, you're a dog. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Janet, let's get lunch and let me clear my name on national or international television.
Totally. Yeah.
But still, he seemed very thirsty. He was very much like, I never did you wrong.
Well, he's got children and stuff, and I think for her to be saying these things and them hearing it, then they're like, Dad, why were you such a jerk? Like,
well, good question.
I think she was totally right. I think he definitely cheated on her. Like, once a cheater, always a cheater in my book. And like, I just feel like he probably did, but he's just now wanting to like clear his name. He's like, no, we broke up back in September. It's like, but just because in your mind you had switched off the relationship doesn't mean that you had communicated to her that things were over. Just because you stopped feeling it, like, doesn't mean that you started filing for a divorce and doing, taking the measures to say, I'm no longer in a relationship, monogamous with you.
But what? I kind of, in a weird way, semi-support him because, if you're not, look.
Of course the guy does.
No, because this is what I think. Okay, do you know what? Because you don't know how things, you never know what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
And if you have been monogamous for 17 years, really committed, and you know it's finishing, kind of just like, oh, fuck it. It's literally ending. Even though we haven't officially, it's literally ending, fuck it. I don't care. It was September, officially January, kind of I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't even know, when changing schools, I changed schools when I was in high school. Before I officially changed schools, I stopped giving a fuck. I wasn't doing a thing. I know I haven't technically changed schools yet, but I'm like, oh, fuck it, it doesn't matter.
But I thought that he's still living in the house and everything, and I don't think he was monogamous for 17 years.
Maybe, yeah, but we don't know. We
don't
know
that.
While
she was recovering from plastic surgery, he was just having the time of his life while she was all bandaged up,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm in the next room, babe.
We don't
Call
know,
me if you need me.
Yeah, but I think if it's ending and you just kind of fuck, you just don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you.
You got to think she did too. She probably had some fun.
Oh,
but we're not seeing that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I feel like she was probably pretty in love with him though. And maybe now I feel like now she's like, you know what?
They totally shagged after that, didn't they? They probably totally hooked up after that.
Oh, I didn't think so. Really?
You don't think? It's Janet. I think she went.
I actually don't think she did. Yeah, but one thing
I think she actually.
Let's go back to
she's down for it if it's just physical and fun. But I don't think. I think that would be too messy for her.
Okay.
Well, one thing that a lot of, because being from Melbourne, I know a lot of what their characters are like in real life and what people view them as. But she was viewed as a very solid marriage.
That's what I would think.
She was a very, apparently great mom, really committed to him.
I think she would be perfect little housewife, cooking and cleaning and sweet and monogamous and everything. And now I think she's like, you know what? I did that. I'm done with it, and it didn't work, and now I'm gonna have fun.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know how to bake. I mean, she went to Susie's house and didn't know how to bake. She was like,
she said she was cooking for him, and she's
like,
I was cooking, making your meals and doing your wash.
Yeah, who knows? But one thing that we saw happen was it all come to fruition with the whole Lydia and Petit Fleur thing when the ladies went out to go and buy Gamble a wedding present at Pottery Barn. By the way, they were acting like Pottery Barn was so posh.
Yeah.
But it's I think in Australia...
Hey, in my opinion, it is very expensive.
Well, first of all, I do like Pottery Barn, but I also do think, isn't it the thing that American things in Australia, it's much cooler.
Yeah.
So I bet that's the very cool American interior design store.
It is, but it's probably about it's expensive, but it's not those type of women. It's not
like Ralph Lauren or a higher end interior
design.
It's not
what they spend on clothes on a day, a shirt.
It's not restoration hardware even. It's Pottery Barn. Yeah.
Chyka, you should have gotten a nicer wedding present.
Oh, Chyka. Yeah, I love her. She can do no wrong in my book.
But where were they getting the shampoo? How did they always have champagne? They're in the middle
grab a
of
drink, and
Pottery Barn.
They're literally 2 steps from and they had champagne. I was like, you did not.
They actually do that. They do that as well in LA and
where?
And
Please
in
tell me.
high end stores.
High end, but I wouldn't think in Pottery Barn. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it would surprise you. Yeah, because I know even when Topshop opened in Melbourne, I loved Topshop and loved Top Man, so it opened in I don't even know when I was living there. And same thing, they record Apple everything. The works.
What?
Yeah, because it's like, you know, coming here and like, oh, this is new, this
But
is
that was
special.
like a grand opening, I'm assuming, right?
Wow.
Yeah, Pottery Barn hasn't been there that long though. It's only been there like a year. So I remember for a good couple of years they had all the drinks.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting. And then we obviously, so we had Chyka, Susie. I'm trying to think who else was there.
Gamble.
And
Pretty
And then
much everyone
Lydia
but
showed up later.
And
No, Lydia showed up later.
at Pottery Barn?
Yeah, later, yeah. Because what happened was, then Susie said, by the way, just between us three,
Right.
I've had history with her. Don't trust her.
Yeah.
I feel like she's trying to cause drama.
Right.
And be on your side so she can get back with Gina.
Right.
Then Lydia arrives. Gamble says to Lydia, guess what?
Susie
just said all this.
talking smack.
So then we have a one-on-one with Susie and good old Lydiette. And then
Lydia.
Susie then tries to throw a tries to throw Chyka under the bus a little bit. And,
Yeah.
But then, they have a bit of a one-on-one.
I think, what did you think of that? I mean, I thought that Susie just has a vendetta and she's like just trying to go after Lydia. Like, I think Lydia likes to stir the pot, but I don't think she was doing that to get in Gina's good graces. Do you?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really?
I think, especially career-wise out of the show, Gina's done the best. So she's got a perfume line, she's got books, she's got fashion line. So she's the only one.
So we don't know what's going on in Aussie.
Yeah, so she's been voted the favourite
Okay.
pretty much. And then, so I think she's trying to jump on that whole
Gotcha.
bandwagon of being a mogul because she started her blog. And
Wait, are we talking about Lydia?
yeah.
Starting a blog is so hard.
But yeah, I think she's a
literally
shit
shop
stirrer.
and
Yeah, but
drink and it's
obviously
so
we
hard to
found out
talk
like
about.
Susie later has
Yeah.
had issues with, you know, Lydia ruining her name across Melbourne and saying that she's sleeping with married women. So that's what.
Everyone in Melbourne.
Everyone in Melbourne. I can't even do it. Yeah. What did you think of that? Are you team
Everybody.
Lydiette or are you team?
No, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Ew,
Yeah.
no. Lydia, goodbye, girl. No, ever. No. I think she's a conniving snake. I do not like her at all. She will definitely stab you in the back, and she will twist it, and she'll pull it out, and then she'll be like, oh, it's healed. Okay, let me do it again.
But we don't know Susie yet at all.
I
mean,
don't-
all
I don't
I've seen
care.
of
Susie
Susie is
has
she's
been
sitting there
very
talking
nice.
about people and situations she doesn't know anything about.
No, she was asked about the Lydia situation, and she started talking about it.
No,
she did
but
not...
she's like saying like you and Petit Fleur, like don't get, like she then started like, I don't know.
Girls do that all the time, Angela. We're like, oh, I don't really like her, but did you see how like that happened? And I kind of feel like this happens with so and so. And
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think either of them are right, Susie or Lydia. I think they're both kind of
think-
like after each other, and like I don't know. I don't trust Lydia, but like I didn't think it was
Right.
cool that Susie's just like walking in and being like, oh, this is the whole situation, and I don't trust you. But I mean, I guess they have a history, so.
Yeah, I just thought it was unacceptable to her to do the whole Shane Warne thing. I thought that was very
Yes,
rude because she
I
was
agree.
trying to ruin the marriage.
Yeah.
That was hitting below the belt.
That's what I
But
mean.
She's resentful and she's got some revenge she wants to get.
Yeah.
But I thought that was wrong of her, but I do think it's actually wise of her to let the other girls know, look, this
She
is
should,
my
yeah.
experience with her, but take it, this is what I've been through. But just be careful. Rather than maybe force it as much.
Yeah.
She's just saying this was just my experience with her. This is just the truth. But I just want to give you the heads up. But
Yeah.
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying. I
yeah.
felt like she's like really pushing it and like
She is, yeah.
forcing her opinions on other people. It's like, you know, you should just be like, you know what? This is what I have experienced with her. Hasn't been the best, you know, loyal friend to me. She's done these things. But like, you know, decide for yourself. Whereas I felt like it was like, she's the worst person ever. She ruined my marriage. Which also, I'm sorry, but like, you know, I'm married. Nobody's gonna go around and my husband start believing rumors like that.
Yeah.
Like if you start saying like I'm cheating on him, you'd be like, that's stupid. Like I
Yeah.
know my wife. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like in what world could Lydia just start making up things and and there be no validity to it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not saying, but like they did get divorced and like I don't know.
She probably did get with the married man, even by mistake, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Gamble was like, whoa, I didn't believe, because it's
Yeah.
when it's almost like we kind of talk about like a hardcore vegan, a hardcore Christian,
Yeah.
the hardcore breastfeeding mums.
Right.
You gotta breastfeed, you gotta breastfeed, you gotta breastfeed. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You gotta be Christian, you gotta join our church. It's like, fuck
Yeah.
off, you gotta be vegan. Go
On
away.
their soapbox.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it was a bit like that. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, too aggressive.
Yeah. And then we went to the horse riding.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good sound effect. I like
Yeah,
that.
what did you think about that, Maddie?
I mean, overall, like, it was a good little experience for everyone. You know, they got to, like, be with the girls and, you know, crack a few jokes here and there. From that, I took away I really liked Jackie because she made the most, like, perverted jokes, and it was really funny to me.
What about Petty Fleur's outfit?
Oh, well,
Loved
her
it.
and Susie. Yeah.
Well, Susie at least looked cute, and she looked like a legitimate
They both
writer.
looked like little
Petty
jockeys.
Fleur had her hair like she was like Princess Fiona.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
like her pink gloves, and I mean, she's just always playing a role. You know, I just
yeah,
like, calm
that's
it
a
down.
good point, Angela.
Yeah.
She's always playing a role, so
Yeah,
maybe that's why you
like
can't
at the
trust
gym,
her.
she's like the gym person. Now she's like a
And she-
horseback
yeah,
rider,
yeah.
and I did not like how she said she was going to make the horse into glue. It's just not.
That's weird.
Not
That
in good
creeped
taste.
me
It's a
out.
bad joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's joking, but I don't find it funny. Like, I'm a huge animal advocate, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that, and I didn't like when she said that her and Susie were the only ones that were in the
That
correct
was-
weight range.
Yeah.
to-
Yeah.
All those girls are gorgeous and skinny as like.
Yeah.
yeah.
Camera adds 10 pounds, people.
It
Just so
does,
you know.
yeah. Because you know, for example, Lydia, I think she could do with
She's
a
a
few.
little chunk.
Yeah, I
But
think she
she's-
could.
You
but
know,
she's
for
doing-
her being so
She's
like,
doing that Marilyn
sexy and-
Monroe, like plus size,
She's
like
trying.
sexual,
She is
voluptuous.
trying.
Like
She's trying.
Yeah.
She's not.
that's
doing
what she's
it.
going
trying.
for. I think.
Yeah, I think it's, you know, as I say, I don't like to attack women in their sizes. I think
Exactly.
but it's just funny. I think when someone is, we spoke about it last week, when someone's whole life
Yeah.
is what they look like, that's all she does. I think then you can throw a bit of a jab because you. That's
a
her whole,
good point.
Yeah.
I like that because it's true. Like
Yeah.
she's flaunting her sexual nature. It's all about like how she looks and yeah, if you're gonna put yourself out there like that.
Yeah, if you're gonna base your whole life, you know, for example, when people like someone like people, you know, will say, you know, attack Kim Kardashian for what she looks like.
Yeah.
That's her whole life. What she
Yeah.
so she obviously cares so much about her look. I feel like you can go there because that's her career, that's her life, that's what she.
It's like their work of art, and we're commenting on
yeah,
it.
it's a work
Like,
of art. Yeah, exactly. So I think you are, but it's different if you know
if you're not, you're
If that's
just a
not your
normal
thing.
person, and you don't want
Yeah.
to be judged for that.
yeah, she's on the Real Housewives. of Melbourne, like she wants. It's all
she
about her
wants
look.
that. Yeah. That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, and the one thing I did appreciate over Petty Fleur, which we saw the more human side, is she used to walk 20 kilometres home from work, which is 12 and a
From
half...
school.
From school, sorry.
Yeah.
12 and a half miles as a child.
Dang. Okay. See, I didn't. I was like, I
12
don't know.
How
what
is that
20
even
kilometers.
possible?
Yeah, I'm thinking like,
12, that's
I
literally
think that's
half
like that
marathon.
story that like my grandpa told.
Yeah.
He's like, I walked uphill both ways to school. Like,
Yeah.
12 miles as
12
a
and a
child.
half, 12 and a
Your
half.
feet would be blistered. Like that doesn't even make any sense.
like how... I don't even know. How long would it take to... I don't have my phone. Oh, there it is.
Oh, it would take like 4 hours to
Yeah,
walk.
Oh,
to
that's
so
lunch.
four
I
hours.
think
Yeah.
that's
You're
an
walking.
utter lie. I think
Okay,
it's
yeah.
an
I think
utter
so, too.
Yeah.
fabrication.
She probably
Like
walked
maybe she
2
walked
miles.
like a mile.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah,
Petty
12
Fleur.
and a half
12 and a half
miles. That's a
miles.
conversion. 20 kilometres is 12.4 miles to be exact.
Oh my.
That's
God.
crazy.
Yeah. No.
See,
way.
that's my
She
problem
would
with
still
her.
be
She just
walking home
makes
from
stuff
school
up.
right now.
Yeah, yeah.
She literally makes stuff up. Like
Yeah.
I just, she's told her son this guy this, and he believes it. Like no,
Yeah.
that doesn't even make any sense.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's funny. Obviously, we don't know the backstory, but he's like, "You've raised me and my brothers," plural. It's like, who the hell are the brothers? Why have we not met them? Where are they
I
living?
think we
are they
have on past seasons. We
Yeah.
saw the brothers.
Okay, well, I'm talking about this season. So we've only met Nathan, I think, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
his name, and he got kicked out or whatever. So it's like, okay, so why are you treating him differently than the other ones? Maybe he's the oldest.
That's what she said. She was like, "You're my firstborn." So,
Okay.
I think it's just the first one that's leaving. It's very sobering to be like,
he's
"Oh wow, they're all
28,
gonna
so
kind
that's
of
the first one that's leaving.
take
Like
this."
back to back. How many?
No, I agree.
What is
I mean,
the-
I think
what is
this,
the age
like,
range between these kids?
Yeah.
One thing that Gina got on Petty Fleur's back about in the previous seasons was because she talks about being a self-made woman. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Gina is a self-made woman, but she came from a family of money.
Right.
Okay.
But Chyka is a self-made woman.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, what has Petty Fleur actually done? Because she's had a lot of marriages. So she just, she's in real estate now, but if she...
Reach the beach.
Yes, which like, I don't actually know.
what
She
she
hasn't
does.
really exactly, she said through real estate, but there's been a few marriages, but
I think she's married well,
yeah.
numerous times.
Yeah.
I need to take a note out of her book because I need to find a rich guy. How the hell do they do that? They just go from guy to guy that happen to be super rich every time.
That's funny.
Guess you got to be in that circle.
Yeah, I know. So it
Petty
was
Fleur, hit
kind
me
of
up.
crazy. Well, even, same with Gamble. the only reason she has got money is because she has constantly got.
But she owns it.
She owns it, yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
I'm, I am a trophy
SugarDaddy.com.
wife and I am proud of it.
Yeah.
But Petit Fleur, I just think she's like hitting it too hard with like, I've made my money on my own, and I don't believe it for 2 seconds.
No.
I think someone that does. Well, they always say if Lisa Vanderpump always says this from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I'm not a huge Lisa fan, but I love this quote. She says,
Love pump.
Love pump, great bar. But if a money box is full and you shake it, it doesn't make a lot of noise.
Right.
But if a money box has got a few coins in there and shake it, tends to
Exactly.
make a noise.
100%.
Because a bit of the self-conscious vibes. Because if you've got a lot, if you're worth
Yeah.
hundreds of millions self-made, you don't have to prove it. You just are. Same as
Exactly.
if you're, we see in LA, I'm an actor, I'm an actress. Usually that means you're a waiter.
Right.
Or you
Yeah.
work in a restaurant or you're a retail assistant.
Right.
But if you really are an actor and actress, you don't have to introduce
You-
yourself.
exactly.
Everyone knows.
Yeah.
You've got nothing to prove. Whereas those people that
Exactly.
are self-conscious and are still in decline
Very true.
are trying to,
I
Hear you,
love that.
hear you.
I watched Lisa Vanderpump. I never heard that quote, and
That's a good
I
one.
love that quote. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
It's exactly that. I just feel like she's like trying to prove too much and be like, I am this person. I want you to believe me to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, just like, be yourself.
Totally. Well, I grew up in a city 45 minutes away from Melbourne called Geelong. And we had 2 high schools there called Geelong College and Geelong Grammar. So Geelong College was $15,000 a year, about $12,000 to $15,000 a year. Geelong Grammar was about $50,000 to $60,000 a year.
Holy moly.
So,
Wow. That's a big difference.
and for the most part, the Geelong Grammar people you would meet, you would never know they have money. They don't talk about it. But the Geelong College people, that's all they ever spoke about was money and what they had because
Yeah.
they're trying to pretend,
Exactly.
So where'd you go?
I didn't go to either.
Yeah.
I
Good on ya.
went to Christian college. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So that's that. But back to the horse riding.
Yes.
That's where we actually saw a little bit of Jackie get in there and say, just so you know, girls.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
spoken about every single one of you behind your back.
What did she say? She's like, you
That
would
was a
be in
perfect Jackie
horror.
impression.
Horror.
Just
Like-
so you know,
Yeah,
girls,
girls.
they've talked about you.
Yeah.
That was good.
Who's
Okay,
your
yeah.
favourite? Who are you liking so far?
It's like asking my favorite child. I love,
Yeah.
like, they're all just so eccentric and over the top and amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I love me some Chyka.
Yes.
Chyka,
She's just
yes.
like so. I love how Chyka like is like the nice girl, but then she'll give some zingers.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I mean, I love Jackie because she's married to a rock star and
Yeah.
is the Johnny Depp and like.
But he's so not. Like, he's really
Yeah,
nothing in the
exactly.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It's
What
like,
has he done?
and what
Like, he
happened
just
to
is
La
there.
Mascara?
Well, yeah, she was all about La Mascara.
Yeah, and here she's like making these mocktails, and she's just to die for. I love her. I mean, I love Lydia because she's just so crazy. I'm just like, what are you doing next?
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're all
Janet's probably one of my least. Janet.
Janet. Yeah, she's
Janet-
good.
Janet's nose I cannot get over. It's too like you see straight
Yeah.
up into her brain.
She's
whenever
had
she
too
talks, it's
much
like,
work done.
Yeah. No.
And her hair is too flat to her head.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
It makes it look even more harsh. Her
Yeah.
features.
Yeah.
And I just feel like she really stirs the pot, and sometimes is like a bit. Takes it a little too far with how mean spirited she can get
Yeah.
sometimes, and I don't like that. But I think
Okay.
she's also been burned,
Yeah.
so I think that's why.
Chyka, number 1, always. Girl, you slay. Gina, 2. 3, Jackie. Jackie's getting into the second place because I love her honesty and I
Yeah.
love how open she is about her sexuality with her husband, which is so amazing. She's like, kids, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I guess 3rd would be Jackie getting into 2nd. And then 4th would have to be Susie because she calls people on their BS. Well,
Yeah.
she's calling at least Lydia.
I
on
love
her BS.
Gamble too. I forgot Gamble. I
Gamble's
love.
I'm not a gamble.
Gamble
I'm not a,
is
yeah.
the friend that you need because it makes you feel smarter. She's like, yeah, that's right. It's like, duh.
I like how Gamble sticks up for herself though too. Like she tells it like it is too, and she'll be like, "That's not nice" or whatever. She like really just like says it, and I also just love her because she's just like doing her. Like she's not like comparing herself to others. She's just like, "This is me and my wolf pack," and like
She's just
Me and
floating
my
she's
around.
just like, I'm
planner
happy.
and-
Like I'm sorry that you're not, but like
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not gonna feel bad about it.
I like that. And then to finish it off, we obviously just saw Lydia blogging and all of that.
She's like,
and
it's so hard.
she pretty much
to
just
be a
said to
blogger.
Gamble that, no, I would talk about Gina if I was trying to get in with Gina, but I don't buy it. But then we saw a bit of a promo to next week.
Yes.
And it looks like the girls are going for it against Lydia. And Jackie said, what did she say? Something about her. I've got it written down. Chyka, which means the sea bomb in Croatian. So she's pretty much...
That's a big one.
She pretty much called it that. But let's go into predictions. I'm ready for that, and then let's wrap up.
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, Maddie.
Oh, God.
Predictions? I always go with you first, yeah.
I know, right? Okay. Yeah. I predict that everyone's going to gang up on Lydia and shit's going to go down. That's the worst prediction ever.
But I think that's a good prediction. It's probably going to happen,
It's a general one. I can't be too specific.
Yeah.
All right, I agree with that, but I do think Gamble will have her back. I think Gamble and her together.
You think Gamble's really going to go, like, support Lydia?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think she'll definitely support her. I think she feels
After
like
they
they're
had
really
that mass, well, was it her and Petty Floor?
I think she'll definitely support her. But I also think that Gamble's wedding is going to be a disaster because of this wedding planner.
Yeah.
Same.
No, not because
I
of the
think
wedding
he doesn't
planner,
know
because
what
of
he's
Gamble.
doing.
And the wedding planner is like, all right, let's tone it back. She's like, think Chinese. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so that's that. But I also think what's going to happen is Lydia's almost going to get her way because Gamble's going to have her back. And then Gamble's going to say, Gina, because you give such good advice, just do lunch with Lydia and hear her out. She needs some real talk, some girl talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, oh, yeah, let me do it.
And then she got what she wanted in the end. See, she's a mastermind.
She
But
is.
I think it's time to wrap. So, starting with Maddie, because we always like to start with Maddie, tell our beautiful viewers and our listeners where they can find you.
Oh, Dan, you're too much. Thank you guys, everyone. I am Madison Conklin. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie Says This, and then on Instagram at Conklin, CONKLYNN. And Angela?
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram and Snapchat at Angela Struck.
Oh, that's so nice. And guys, I've got to say I won't be here next week because I am in London.
Cry.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. But I'll be back the week after that, and you can find me on Instagram at Dan Babic and on the Twitter at Dan Babic with an underscore. It's been a great week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. But until then, buzz you later. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect